At a minimum, we need two tools to practice JavaScript. We need a web browser and we need a text editor. So let's go ahead and get a web browser going. If you have Google Chrome, that's good. If you don't have it, open up whichever web browser you do have and just look for Google Chrome on the web. You can search for it and then find a download link for it and go ahead and download and install it. Once you have Google Chrome up and ready, you should be using that browser like I am here. And in terms of a text editor, you'll want to look for Sublime Text online. You can just go to sublimetext.com and then download and evaluate their application. All that means is you can download it and try it out. And they say that if you're going to continue to use it, just make sure you purchase a license. But there is no enforced time limit on evaluation, as it says here on the site. So once you have those two tools, we'll be ready to get started. So if you're on a Windows machine, you'll want to look in your program files after you install the Sublime Text application. That's probably where it got installed. On a Mac, it'll be in your applications folder. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and open up Sublime Text. Just open up a blank slate here. And what we're going to do is we're going to say Files, New, create a new file here. And what we're going to do is save an HTML file first. So we're going to hit Save As. And I'm just going to go to the desktop and create a new folder here called JavaScript. And on a Mac, I'm able to hit this new folder button. You might be able to right click on your desktop and hit new folder that way. You just want to put this somewhere where you can access it. Okay, so I've got this folder here called JavaScript, and I'm going to put a file in there called index.html. So now I'm going to hit save, and we've just got a blank slate in there. I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to click File, and I'm going to do New File again, and then I'm going to do Save As. Save it in the same exact folder, and this time we'll just call it practice.js. Okay, so we have a different file here now called practice.js inside of this JavaScript folder. So I'm going to hit save. So what I'm going to show you here is a few ways we can add JavaScript to a page. So you have to understand that JavaScript exists within web pages. And that means as long as we have an HTML page, we can load JavaScript into it. So I'm going to show you a few ways we can write JavaScript inside of an HTML page. First, let's go ahead and create our HTML skeleton structure. So if you recall, that's just doc type declaration, and then an HTML opening and closing tag. Looks like Sublime Text has an autocomplete for me, so you can pause your video and copy this down if you need to. And we'll just give the page a title. We'll just say JavaScript, because we're going to be working on that. And then if you recall, for CSS, you do this link tag, right, to add it in, and you say rel equals style sheet, and then href equals, and the location of the CSS file. You might call it style.css, something like that. Now, JavaScript's a little bit different. The way you incorporate a third-party JavaScript file, like this practice file we have here, if we want to import it into this HTML document, the way we do that is we say script source, so src, equals, and the name of our JavaScript file, so practice.js. And then we'll close that. So once you have that, this file is now going to load into this document. Let's just put some text in here. We'll just say h1 hello inside the body tag so that we see something. So now to open this file, all we need to do is open it in a browser. If we go to our JavaScript folder that we created, we should be able to just double click on the HTML file and it should open in a browser. So you can do that just by double clicking it, and there you go. Now we've got this page loaded in a browser. Now keep in mind, if that doesn't work for you, you can open up a browser and just navigate to the actual file that you have saved. So on a Windows PC, you may have to put something like your C drive and the location, desktop, something like that. So, but on a Mac, you should be able to double click it. I believe on a Windows machine, you should as well. Double click it, it should open in a browser. So now that we have that, let's talk about a few ways we can just add JavaScript to the page. One is this script tag here, right? So we can incorporate it in. So any JavaScript we write in practice.js will automatically be loaded on this page. So let's just try that really quick. We can do a simple alert. So try this, alert, parentheses, hello world. So save that. And as long as you have your HTML document looking like this, and the file name is practice.js, all we have to do is refresh. And upon the refresh, you'll see we got this alert from JavaScript saying hello world. So that's one way to do it, is incorporating a script tag. Another way to do it is simply just by having a script tag embedded in your HTML, and you'll want a closing script tag like that. And all we have to do is just put the same code in there. Let's go ahead and remove this one for now. We can just delete it. And go in here and say alert. We'll say hello from inside the HTML document. Add a semicolon to close that. If I save it, there you go. Now we have this message coming up. And if we had both of them popping up, they would just pop up in succession. So that's another way we can do it. And finally, the last way is you don't even really need a text file, although that's what we're going to do for our practice. You can technically right-click and use this inspect element feature in Chrome. And when you do that, you'll see you get this developer tool set up down here. And we're going to use this a little bit as we explore JavaScript. This is going to be really helpful for us. But you go to the console when you want to write JavaScript. And from here, we can do the same thing. We can say alert, hello, semicolon, and then if I hit enter, the page reacts immediately. So we can just immediately write JavaScript here and see our results instantly. You can also do console.log, hello, and you'll see it logs what we write down here. It doesn't pop it up, it just logs it. So these are the three different ways we can kind of use JavaScript inside of an HTML page. Remember, JavaScript lives in the browser, so it's already there by default. We're just bringing it to life by adding these commands in three different ways, either an external file, or as we saw, an internal kind of script tag here, where we write the JavaScript on the file itself, or down here in the console. So those are a few ways you can add JavaScript to a page.